Hi everybody, this is Adam Ellenboss from Nightlight Astrology, and this is a really quick video tutorial in understanding the pole star and its relationship to the equinoxes and solstices. I'm doing this on December 21st, 2017, and I'm looking at this this astronomical phenomenon in relationship to today's winter solstice. So I did an earlier video on the sort of astrological meaning of the solstice that you can check out. But for now, what I want to show you is some of the accompanying astronomy that I promised I would demonstrate for you in that video. So here you're looking at the sun in the sky on the screen right now at the local meridian, which is basically high noon, and you're looking at it on the shortest day of the year. So what you'll notice is that the sun is very close in the sky to the southern horizon. It's like very kind of far south in the sky toward the southern horizon. Now, what happens is day by day, this as we go forward from the winter solstice, the sun is going to rise along the meridian in the sky. So watch what happens. I'm just going to start advancing this day by day so you can see. So watch as the sun every day is starting to go higher. See how it's getting higher in the sky? That line is roughly high noon. So this is high noon like every day. We're in February, March. See how it's getting higher and higher and higher? So as the arc of the sun gets higher, the days get longer. And then finally, we cross the halfway point between the lowest arc and the highest is the equinox. Actually, I can show you what that looks like. I put in the celestial equator right here. And if I go back down a little bit, when it crosses that red line around March 21st or so, it's the spring equinox. That red line is the Earth's equator projected out into space. So as it crosses that line, we get the spring equinox, which means we have an equal amount of light and dark in the 24-hour day. And from that point forward, the sun keeps rising in the sky and is going to keep going until about June 20th. At June 20th, we hit the summer solstice. Summer solstice is the longest day of the year where the light is going to be most amount of light in the day, and there it is. So now, what's really interesting is that, so some people think, as I was saying in the video today, that the winter solstice is all about the return of the light, that the days are going to get longer, and that's what it's all about. And it is. It's about the return of the light, but also orienting the entire seasonal cycle of the sun going up in the sky. Let's see, I'll see if I can show you. So the sun goes from down here somewhere, winter solstice, goes all the way up. You know, up here, you got summer solstice, crosses the halfway marker on the way up. The solar year is waxing. The halfway marker is the spring equinox. As it's going down and it crosses the same line, that's the fall equinox, and the sun is falling in the sky. And then it goes down to the bottom and then climbs up again. So the sun is actually seasonally going up and down, back and forth, from the highest up in the sky down to the lowest, and the longest amount of light to the shortest. Most people know that. But what you may not know is that the entire cycle is actually oriented around the relationship of the sun to the pole star. So check this out. So there's the North Celestial Pole. You can see the North Celestial Pole. Let's see, here we go. Yeah, let's use this. So here's the North Celestial Pole right there. And as the sun lifts up in the sky, where it's at right now, the way you're seeing it in the sky, it's at summer solstice. It's highest in the sky. As it's highest in the sky, it also gets closest toward the North Celestial Pole, which is the unchanging pole star. It's always basically just right there. And then as the sun declines or gets further down in the sky, it is essentially moving farther away from the pole star. So when you go, let's move this forward some lunar months, and let's get all the way down to, let's see, here we go. Here we are, December 14th, 2018, and the sun has descended again, basically to the winter solstice next year. You're looking at that now in the chart in this screen. And now the sun, if we turn the entire perspective, you can see that the sun is now very far away from the north celestial pole compared to where it was at the summer solstice. So the real orientation, when we say return of the light, we are talking about the days getting longer, but we're also talking about the gradual move of the sun toward the pole star. The real metaphor, spiritually speaking, is not about the vacillation between light and darkness. It's not about light as opposed to dark. It's about movement. That when we say, the light is returning, in some ways what we're really trying to orient ourselves toward is the light beyond literal light and dark. The light that incorporates and unifies the opposites of light and dark. And that's actually conceptualized in many ways from the esoteric sort of standpoint of astrology by the pole star rather than just the sun. The sun is something, as I mentioned in another video that I did today, that can represent both ambition in a more egotistical sense and also possibly spiritual light, insight, and enlightenment. But one really great way of understanding the orientation of the entire solar year in the more esoteric ancient philosophy is in terms of the vacillation of dark and light relative to an unchanging center of light. So we're not talking about the kind of light that is opposite to dark. The opposites of light and dark are very much a part of this world. Creation, destruction, growth, death. The unchanging light, the light around which the whole thing vacillates, is more intangible. It's harder to define because it incorporates the opposites and goes beyond them. So I hope that this little educational video gives you something to think about. What I had said in my solstice video today was that when we're setting intentions at the winter solstice, just remember that the entire idea of setting an intention can be just another way of talking about light versus dark. It can be just another way of saying, I want more of this and less of that. I have an egotistical ambition and that's what I want to go for. And I want to avoid something else. I want to get more cut. I want to get more rich. I want to get more, more better relationship. Whatever. If the ambitions that we have, the intentions that we set are, if we mistake the return of the light for the ambitions of the ego, we're not really associating with the correct astrological symbol, which is this unchanging pole star that orients the whole thing. So I hope this is interesting for everybody, and I hope to do more of these little instructional videos in addition to some of my other talks, as I'm still sort of learning how to fuse together the technology of screen sharing and video and like other stuff. Zoom works pretty well, but it doesn't work very great for live casting unless you have the big subscription, and I'm still on the fence about whether I want to do that or not. So at any rate, for now, I hope that you have a very wonderful winter solstice, and I hope to talk to you all again soon.